Good morning. Welcome to Crazy for Keto. I'm Ray, and I hope that you made it through your Easter just fine. I changed my menu up a little bit. I didn't quite make the meal I had talked about making, but it all worked out and I stayed on track. I was able to make a dessert for myself and enjoyed my ham meal. And I didn't even miss the potatoes, didn't miss the things that I thought I was going to miss. I was fine. The rest of the family, they enjoyed their ham, their potatoes. What else did they have? Oh, and they had cake and donuts, and I didn't have any, and I was pretty proud of myself. But I didn't have any craving for it. I was fine. I really didn't want it, so it wasn't any big deal for me. And that's what I'm finding on keto is that when I stick to the plan, which is pretty simple, you want to keep your carbs under 20, whether they're net carbs or total carbs. Right now I'm sticking to total carbs, and maybe that will change as I get closer to goal or at goal. But for now, I'm going to stick with under 20, actually usually under 15 most days, and that's working. I've got my fat macros at uh, roughly about 80%, 75 to 80% most days. I had to drop my protein a little bit. I don't know what you guys are like, but I was finding it really difficult. I couldn't eat that much protein, according to the uh, ketogene's macros that I had done. And so I just dropped the protein a little bit. It's within a safe range, but I upped my fat a bit, dropped my protein just a bit, and I'm down a couple more pounds in the last, last 5 or 6 days. So that's working for me. Everybody's probably a little bit different, and that seems to be the thing that everybody needs to tweak. The carbs, always very low. That's a standard that you're going to stick with, but it's that fluctuation between the protein and the fat. So you have to find your own kind of sweet spot, I guess it is. But yeah, I'm happy with where I am. If I eat just that little bit extra fat, then I'm not hungry. I'm full. I don't feel I need to eat as much. I had lunch yesterday and I ate half of it and I didn't finish it. I didn't want to. And that's a big thing for me because never did that before. It was always about, how much could I eat, when could I eat again, and what else can I put on my plate, and I don't want to do that anymore. So, but what I want to talk about is food habits. What were your old food habits, and what are your new habits? I'm finding that for the first time in my life, I'm not craving, I'm not thinking ahead what the next meal is going to be, I'm not trying to finish up eating by a certain time so that I have time to eat again, to have a snack later in the night. I was a big nighttime snacker. I just love to have my sweets and my savory both at nighttime. I'd have a large pizza and eat half of it or more, and half an hour later I'd have the big bag of chips, or Munchie Mix was another favorite. But I don't care anymore. I don't need it. I mean, I can make a keto snack. My avocado, cocoa, vanilla, a couple of drops of sugar-free sweetener mix that I make is really good. Very, very good. But honestly, most of the time I don't really care to have it. I don't want it. I enjoy it when I eat it, but I don't really feel I need to. And that's something that keto is doing for me that I never had before. I never experienced that before. But my old habits were very powerful. If my husband was out of town for a night or away at a long meeting, I couldn't wait to sit down at nighttime and snack and have the big bag of chips or the big bowl of popcorn all to myself. Didn't have to share. And then I'd have other goodies. It wouldn't just be that. It would be whatever I could get my hands on, and I would eat till I was just stuffed. And even that didn't stop me. I would keep eating. So it was a big battle. It was a big pull on my conscious mind to eat, when to eat, what to eat, how to eat, when can I eat again, when can I eat more, and I've let all that go. So I'm still at the point now, I'm just coming up to my third month in a couple of weeks, and down 27 pounds right now, by the way. That I'm still kind of amazed at nighttime. I sit down with my big glass of water, sometimes a little bit of sweetened, sugar-free, stevia sweetened green tea, and I'm happy with that. A couple of nuts, maybe a few almonds here and there, and that's pretty much about it. I have a few snacks now and again, but really that's only because I've eaten so little during the day that I feel like I really should eat something. But that doesn't happen too often. And I'm averaging somewhere around, oh, probably about 1,100 calories a day. That seems to be all that I want. The odd day I go up to 12 or 1250, and I don't worry about that. I'm perfectly fine with that total. But I'm not so much concerned with the calorie count as making sure I eat enough fat, a moderate protein, and keep the carbs under 20. And I pretty much try to keep my carbs under about 17 or 18, just to allow a little bit of leeway for miscalculation. There's sometimes so many little bits of carbs hidden in foods that you wouldn't think of. And so I try to allow for that, especially in spices and stuff, because you don't always think about what could be in that. So I always have a leeway of a few spices or packaged or canned foods that I might not know for sure exactly what's in there or how much. So that gives me that leeway of never falling out of keto if I keep it low enough. I mean, I know people talk about going over 20, maybe up to even 30 and still being in keto. Everybody's body is different, but for me, I want to keep it low enough that I don't want to worry about it. I do test with my keto sticks, but I've never fallen out of keto. So this is working for me. Like I said, everybody find your sweet spot. But talking about your habits, have you developed new habits? Are you still struggling with cravings and what to do about them? Try to keep busy. Try to focus on the non-food victories. Try to focus on how you feel, because everyone's different. You may have lost a little weight, a lot of weight. You may be feeling very comfortable in your keto. You may still be struggling if it's fairly new to you. But losing the weight is great, obviously. But try to think of the other things. I'm pretty sure most of us can say on keto that we are feeling more energy. You're feeling a little more alert. You know, that kind of like brain fog that you get. Maybe it's starting to clear up. I know for me, I had a lot of brain fog. So that's definitely getting better. My focus is better, my concentration. The inflammation in my body is gone. I don't have sore knees, sore fingers anymore. I don't really have too much of a sore back anymore. And I can get up and down off the floor. I can play with the dog. I can roll around. I can jump back up. Losing all that kind of mid-weight, you know, my trunk, whatever. Losing all that is just made a huge difference in how my body moves, how I feel. And so I know you can't really see in this, but I have a pretty flat belly now, and I haven't had that for a lot of years. And aside from feeling good and looking good, it just makes it so much easier to move around. So anyway, try to focus on that. Try to focus on how you feel. If you're stalled in your weight, hang in there, because your body weight will fall. Like, it'll come off. It will happen. And we'll talk more about that in future videos. But about the habits, if you've had a habit that you're still struggling with, you know, you need to make a new habit. So, you know, read some inspirational books, maybe look for new recipes to try, maybe watch some videos. I've got quite a few videos that I follow, and it all helps to reinforce what you're doing while you're doing it. And by all means, send me an email or leave me a message, and if you're struggling with anything, I'm happy to try to help you, and because we're all in this together. So we are all on this journey of trying to be healthier and have a better outlook, a better relationship with food. So letting go of those old habits and making new habits is something that we all need to do. I mean, because that's why we had a problem with food in the first place. We all had that addiction that for some reason it made us have a difficult time stepping away from the food and not focusing on it so much. And just just acknowledge every downfall and every success and just keep moving forward. The thing is to not give up. Almost no one has a steady path. There's ups and downs, and try to learn from them. Try to find new ways to handle your stress, your cravings if you're having them. Find new recipes to try. Keep yourself busy. Um, right now I'm doing fine. I'm not having a problem with the nighttime cravings anymore. They're gone. But if I were to have any, I would find something to do. Go for a walk, do a little exercise. I do a little Pilates now in the evening when I'm watching TV for a few minutes. It just kind of gives me something to do, something that's a little routine I'm setting up in the evening. And it's just about 10 minutes, nothing big. I'm not really motivated yet to do a lot of exercise. I'll probably do more later, but right now I'm focusing on the food. So a little bit of exercise just to start setting up new habits and find out what I need to do to be toned and fit. Probably some weightlifting in a bit, but that'll come later. Right now it's all about the food, or lack of food, not having the food. So I hope that you will join me for the next video, probably over the weekend or next week. I better get off of here and get my day going. And I hope that you have a great weekend coming up, and shoot me any questions you might have. I'm very happy to help if I can, and I will answer any questions you have in my next video. So I'm glad you joined me, and have a great day. Bye.